Welcome back. In today's car program, I had a really good talk with my sister on the weekend. She knows about the YouTube channel. She watches it. And she said something to me while we were making supper together, which is something we haven't done in a long time. We were talking about the name of the channel, Ryan in Cars, and have I decided what I was going to do with it, sort of thing. And she brought up a really good point. You know how you have a thought, and most people call it shower thoughts? I think that's what it's called. But you're in the shower, doing your hair, you're washing up, and then you have this brainiac idea. You know, this thought that just brings absolute clarity. You know, light bulbs go off while you're in the shower. And, you know, she was saying maybe like that's your channel, you know. She goes, because here's the thing. You do have, that's the thing when you're driving. When you're driving, you have, I know some people don't have an internal monologue. But for those of us that do, like, it happens, and you get these thoughts that run through your head, and some of them are absolute brainiac ideas. That's not the point that she was making, though. The point she was making is that, well, I had mentioned that me and my daughter, when we drive into the city and stuff, like, we sometimes have really good talks in the car. You know, stuff that we wouldn't talk about sitting around the dinner table together, or, you know, lazing around on the couch on a Sunday. And my sister said, yes, exactly the same thing. There's things that happen in the car. Like, you have nowhere to go. You're locked in by four doors and a speeding freight train of metal, plastic. So you end up talking with somebody, especially if it's for any length of time. I remember as a kid, that was one of the funnest things about being a teenager and jumping into a buddy's car. We'd all see who could drive, or who had a car, or what was it, and then we'd all wait. No plans. Maybe there was plans, but more often not, it really wasn't. Until we all got together, because there was no cell phones, there was no texting, there was nothing like that. We'd all say, hey, we're all meeting up, do you need a ride? And then we would all jump into a car, and buddy would drive, pick everybody up, and then we would, like, what do you want to do? And then there was this big discussion in the car. This whole massive social interaction that happened. And sometimes we did nothing. Sometimes you just drove around all night. Anybody my age can relate to this. I don't know about younger kids today, but yeah, if you got a car and you get out with your friends, I mean, car ads are made for that now, targeting young people. You're all bombing around in a brand new Kia. And it's a fun time. But she was saying that here now, you know, being a parent, you know, sometimes she finds that, like, she's got two young boys, or younger boys, I guess, young adults, yeah. And she goes, you know, she goes, I don't know what it is about being in the car. but I can talk to him and he'll talk to me about subjects that, like I said before, like you wouldn't normally talk about. She goes, yeah, maybe it is because you're in an enclosed space and you can't escape. And that's something important. I'm a parent, and I remember, wanting to talk with my kids and stuff like that. You'd always try to do it around the dinner table, and a lot of the times it really didn't work. Most of the times it did. I don't know. Just here nor there. But on these long drives with my daughter, like I find it, I feel that. I should ask her if she feels it too, like I feel, like we're kind of connecting, we're digging into a deep subject or whatever. Maybe because my sister has boys, and she said maybe it's because we're not making eye contact, we're not sitting across from one another, sort of thing. And I know guys in general like to talk like that. Yeah, scientific studies have shown that. Anyway, like guys are more open to talking when they're sitting beside one another. They're staring out into space or whatever. And women, I don't know, studies have shown they like eye contact and face to face or whatever it is, right? But she had said something about an earlier video about that when I had mentioned something in a video like that, and she wanted to bring this up to me, and while we were there chopping up onions and frying meatballs and things, that the car, there is something about being in the car. You let your thoughts run wild. You get to, there is a little bit of solitude where there are no intrusions. Other than crazy drivers, I guess. But even with your passengers, like I know when, like we'll get together as a big family, and not a big family, but my parents, my daughter, and me will run to the city for a big shopping trip sort of thing. So we'll all pile up in the Jeep, and then we'll hit the highway. No radio playing. But, pretty deep talks happen. We address stuff that you forget about, I guess. And, there is this social thing that happens when you're stuck in the car with people, and I know about the when it all goes silent, somebody says something and it's all awkward or whatever. Shit like that happens. That's rare. For the most part, the people that get in your car are people you're generally liking, because otherwise you're not going to let them in the car with super tight, enclosed space. Maybe a little bit of trust there. They're putting their hands in your, their lives in your hands as the driver. Let's get this set. Yeah, I thought I'd bring that up. There is something about that, and and as a kid, like I don't know if kids nowadays are doing that. They must be. Cars are so expensive now. I was talking about that with my dad. Maybe I'll make a video about it. But young people are, pile in the car with your friends, or your girlfriend and her friends, or your girlfriend and your friends, and however that works. Yeah, put some thoughts down in the comments. There is something about sitting in cars with people. There really is. Tell me your thoughts down in the comments. Leave something, yeah, there is something about this. Like and subscribe.